I might not have grown up in the days of the arcade, the days where it reigned supreme, the days when kids would put jackets over their hands to hide their moves in Street Fighter, the days of the Donkey Kongs and Pac-Mans. But as a child of the 2000s, I still actually do have a lot of memories of the arcade. One thing I remember are those racing games, climbing into the plastic shell, taking a second to adjust, finding the pedals and the buttons. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that these were great games, masterpieces of media, decade-defining. They were simple, arcadey racing games. Of course they were arcadey, they were in a fucking arcade. Now, I am in the mood to play one of these games, but I've ran into a few problems, you see. Probably the biggest problem is that I'd actually have to leave my house and go to an arcade. Man. The outside is scary and full of annoyance. And obviously the other problem is that I'm not going to buy one and have it here. I don't have the money, nor the space, nor the want. But luckily, the great Xbox Original has given me a solution to my problem. Because today we're talking about a little known game for the original Xbox called Smashing Drive. I've owned this game since when I was a kid, but I never played it much. In fact, I think I only played it once. Of course, since working on this video, I've played it a lot. Another thing new to me since working on this video is I didn't even know this game was an arcade port. But as you can see on the screen, that's the arcade cabinet. This game was released in 2000 for the arcade. First, I gotta address something. Look, you got an arcadey game, taxi on the front. I could see people thinking that this is just some crazy taxi clone. It really isn't. Now, due to some cutscenes not in the console ports, the whole taxi theme is basically meaningless. I don't feel like a taxi driver in the game. Smashing Drive is something between a beat the clock challenge and a racer. A arcadey racer with pros and cons. Big pro, first pro of course being fucking creativity, man. A noticeable amount of creativity is put into the level design. Moving set pieces and varying themes from level to level really give Smashing Drive something that could be described as pizzazz. But what really gives the levels pizzazz is the shortcuts. The levels are full of shortcuts and alternative routes that are both creative and mix up the moment-to-moment gameplay. My favorite being the shortcut featuring King Kong. The nice added touch of seeing him before the shortcut, is something I appreciate. Then the shortcut itself, of course. Not only do I love the King Kong part, but also quickly going through the different parts of the building. I don't know, I guess it just makes the whole level feel bigger. Another thing that varies up the gameplay is the power-ups. I'm gonna run through the list real quick. First we got Sonic Blast, destroys all the vehicles in your way. Turbo Boost, which is obviously a speed boost. Glider, which is whatever, it's just gliding. 4x4, which turns your cab into a fucking monster truck, and it's awesome. Repel, self-explanatory. Saw Blades, which is helpful for cutting through obstacles. Crash, which allows you to plow through traffic. There's also a random power-up, it just gives you a random power-up. Now, before we get to the cons, I do want to give Smashing Drive a wee bit, a smudging if you will, of just a tad bit more praise. I'm going to talk about the time limit. Now, the time limit can be finicky. For some games, it invokes pain and misery. It can really be a detriment. Oftentimes, the time limit is more often a con than a pro in games. It's got to be like 75%. However, amazingly, in Smashing Drive, the time limit is forgiving. It really is forgiving. If you run out of time but you're like a foot before the finish line, you can just drift through and save yourself from losing. The final piece of praise goes to the soundtrack, which in the department of kick-assery, it succeeds. You wanna do is get a 9-3, no matter how much you need to get across town right now. And I'm sure at this point, the game sounds pretty fun, you might be interested in playing it. I'm sure you're all on board with it just being a fun, swell time Just a hunky-dory swell-ass time. As fun and as relieving as a feeling as a farmer who grows fruit. And he's growing the finest plums you've ever seen. Big, ripe, fucking supermarket-defining plums. Well, this game has a con. A con that drives me fucking plumb crazy. It's the other vehicles on the road. The traffic on this game can get so fucking irritating. It grinds on you like a cheese grater grinding on a dead zebra in the fucking North Pole. Like if you have two anteaters, the fucking one of them's been eating. He thinks he's been eating ants. He's been eating spiders, and the other anteater goes to him and says, "Hey Steve, you just ate 50 fucking 8-legged spiders." And the zebra, we'll call him Jimmy. Jimmy's like, "What are you talking about?" "Oh fuck, there's something crawling around in me. Something fucking bubbling up." Well, you know what's bubbling up in me? The fucking irritation of the traffic. The traffic. I tell you, the other day when I was playing this, it ground me down. You know what? I'm gonna show you a visual example in case the sentences I'm throwing out just don't convey it enough. You know what? Here, hang on. Alright. This yellow can is gonna be your taxi cab. It's fucking flying, it's driving, it's having a swell time, but the concrete fucking flat lines called roads, oh, they're clogged up. This can, it's gonna represent 800 fucking school buses full of smoke cones. Okay? Well, are you ready? Fucking every minute. Seriously, I feel like most of the time, 80% of my focus is just on not crashing into vehicles. Enough that the damage meter doesn't reach the bottom. Yeah, the traffic is insert weird analogy here, but all around, I would still recommend Smashing Drive. You know, I wouldn't recommend it back in 2002. This game, not enough content for a full price, but nowadays it's pretty cheap. If you're out and about at the Goodwills or Value Villagers and you see it for $2.99, add it to your collection. My final verdict on Smashing Drive: a fun, creative, albeit flawed arcade racer. Haytham, you did a pretty good filming there. Oh, alright, now it's time to have some fun. What? Oh fuck, it's still recording.
It's getting 9 but 3, no matter how much you need to get a good start.